Woo!
What's up, folks? Welcome back to another Patreon episode of Find Your Beach. That's not even how those sound. Not even an air horn. Nope. You sound like a cat. You sound like a cat in heat getting pierced.
Did I ever tell you about in London how they have foxes? And when the foxes are in heat, they howl, but it's like a horrible noise. It's
I think you did tell me that, actually.
It's like
I
in
saw
London,
foxes in London.
It's like normal to hear like in the middle of the night, like just screaming.
That's awful.
Do you think is anybody on a jog right now just hearing this and being like, I shouldn't have done. I hope somebody's in traffic and it's the kind of traffic where you're going slow and people can hear your radio.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope you're like at a stoplight and you're hearing us talk about fox rape.
You're hearing boo boo boo.
Boo, 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 fox rape.
Fox rape.
Folks, welcome back to today's Patreon episode. I'm super tired. I don't have what
Anything.
It takes.
She doesn't have a thing.
I literally got mad at Andy for being in the bathroom too long, and I didn't need to use the bathroom. So that's where I'm at emotionally and maturity-wise.
She texted me, "Where are you? I miss you." And then
I didn't say I miss you.
When I got to the apartment, she
never
said I need space.
I didn't say I miss you. I said, "Where are you?"
When I came in
and
the door.
And then you came in and you hugged me, but you hugged me really aggressively, and I said, "Get off."
No, that's not what happened. What happened was you said, "Where were you?" I said, "I walked while I did therapy, and then I went to Target." And then when I came back, you were like, "I missed you." And then I went and laid down in bed with you, and you were like, "I need space right now."
Because you and the dogs all climbed on top of me, and you were all like, "Love us."
No.
Yeah.
I was tired.
No, you guys were really needy, and you wouldn't get off, and you said, "Please fill all my holes." That's what you said.
If anybody has
so weird.
He
meant spiritually, but it sounded gross.
Or like a nice bedroom with its own bathroom in the New York area.
Nobody has that for you.
I would love to be kind of like a Big and Carrie situation where we are married but we live in separate homes.
That's not even what Big and Carrie did.
Well, he kept his old apartment.
Who are you talking about?
He kept his old apartment.
You're talking about Frida.
No.
You're talking about Frida Kahlo.
Big kept his own apartment.
No, because he never wanted Carrie to move in. He had commitment issues, and you're not the Big in this relationship.
You think you're
Carrie.
the Big? You're so tiny.
You're the Carrie.
I am. I'm the hottest sex and dating blogger in Seattle.
In Seattle. Yeah. You guys, we have some crazy stuff to cover this week because last week we were out of town. We were on an excursion.
Yeah, we went to
a medical excursion. Okay. We submitted Andy's body to science.
We said,
why is he so big, but he can't play sports?
That's not what they said, and everybody knows I had quite a successful run in the JV leagues. I still play sports. I'm 39. I've been on leagues.
I've been on leagues.
I've been in leagues.
I've been on leagues.
I stay
bro.
playing co-ed soccer at Pier 5, okay?
Well,
I score a goal occasionally.
Yeah. No, I've heard.
I made a girl's lip bleed last week.
That's great, hon.
It was sexual.
No, it wasn't. Shut up. So
I got a dick reduction.
Yeah, Andy had to
Rosebud's doctor said that it was hurting her organs.
No, actually, you had to get a dick reduction because my pussy's too tight. That's what it was. My doctor was like, "Listen, if you guys want this to work out and if you don't want Rosebud to be ripped in half,
nobody's ever
we're going to have to get your pussy.
You do
either
not
your
have
pussy
tight,
needs to be enlarged."
You don't have tight pussy
And I was like,
energy.
well, there's people I could talk to about
Nobody
that.
Thinks you have...
And then the doctor was like, "You know what? I think that's a great idea." And Andy was like, "No, it's fine. I'll get a penis reduction." And the doctor was like, "You probably don't need one." And
no,
Andy was like, "No, I really."
This is not what happened. I'm stopping this right now. Rosebud got a labia reduction, okay? That's what happened. That's what the whole thing was.
You can't turn you can't do the same joke and just reverse it.
That's a different joke.
Onto me.
That's a different joke.
It's the same joke.
No, it was about
you
size.
You just switched it gender-wise.
You're a size
it's the
queen.
Same joke.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You don't get to just dismiss the
Anyway,
lie.
so Andy, we went on a medical excursion.
I got my hair fixed.
Andy got his hair fixed, and we didn't go to Turkey, you guys. We went to Jersey.
She kept it out of Turkey. We went to Cape May, New Jersey, the Turkey of New Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was pretty far.
It was 2 hours, and we drove at night in a storm.
We drove in the night, like we were trying to.
It was a great storm.
Yeah, it was. It was cool.
We had a good storm, and I think the storm had something to do
Nobody
with.
gives a shit about the storm.
No,
They want to
but
know
listen,
about your hair.
I had a bit.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Do you go to a historically black college? Because you are on a step on it team.
What?
I don't know. I went way too far. You
Step
stepped on
on
my
the
joke.
bit?
Yeah, you stepped on my bit, and I was trying to
God,
get
that's
there.
a reach.
I know. Okay.
Okay.
They're still swelling. Anyways, I think what it was is the storm was kind of like, it was like I summoned it because the universe knew that when my new hair came, this kind of like Terminator level rebirth of presence and confidence. It was just like, it was like a kind of like, you know, like when Mount Olympus, you know, like there was just this new life on Earth, and that was my hairline.
Yeah. And Zeus was like, I'm partying.
Here's what happened. I was getting my hair done, and it was going fine. And then Zeus looked down from the top of Mount Olympus, and he threw a lightning bolt. And the doctor did his best work that he's ever done.
Yeah. And Andy looks amazing. He can't take his hat off because at the moment,
I do have scars. My
there
whole
is
head
scarring,
is like hamburger
and
meat.
there's a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
It does look pretty rough. It looks fucked up, but
It looks like
we're getting through it, aren't we, hon?
Yeah, I mean, I just wear the hat all the time.
Yeah.
And I only have to throw them away like every 2 or 3 days when the blood soaks through the front. But we're going to get more shower caps, and I'll be able to save the hats.
Yeah, and we have been, it's fine because we've set it up. We just put a ladder in front of the fridge, and then Andy sort of just leans over the ladder just to support his core, and puts his head in the freezer, and he's slept like that for the last 4 nights, and
It's
that's
good.
fine.
And the doctor said that that's only a half a year I have to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's, good behavior.
Well,
4
technically, the
months.
doctor said that you don't have to do it at all, but we are trying to just be extra careful and safe,
Yeah. And I put my balls in a bowl of ice too, just to keep my sperm count high.
Yeah.
So it's it's hard to sleep, but I do it.
I mean, he actually hasn't slept at all since the surgery, but the good news is he did sleep for a solid 42 hours during and after the surgery, thanks to the help of painkillers.
Man.
Talk about a free lapse.
I got to tell you, drugs, if you can do them, go ahead. They are great. And if you can't do drugs, find an elective surgery you qualify for.
Yeah.
Because that is awesome,
Get
man.
the money. Find the money
Wow.
and just fork it over.
I really had to I gave my higher power the day off, and really just, I logged on to Valium, laughing gas, and Percocet. And
Yeah, I came in. Andy had a laughing gas apparatus next to him that he'd just been huffing on all day.
Great.
Just, voluntarily, like at his own discretion. I mean, I did tell the doctors, hey, he is an addict in recovery. They didn't seem to give a shit or understand, and they just handed the man 4 Valium down the hatch and
I took 2
and a
in the
fucking
morning
tank full
and
of
2
laughing
after
gas.
lunch. And I could care less about what anybody said. I'm kind of worried. Like, I was thinking about it because
I
know
did,
me.
by the way, film everything.
Yeah.
And we did throw out a good amount of those pills because I looked at Andy and I was like, this man is having too much fun.
It was the greatest
This
day
is
of my
not
life.
okay.
Yeah.
He kept calling them his perfect pills, which even if you are somebody that doesn't understand addiction or anything, if you hear a man say my perfect pills.
That's a normal thing to
you
say
know
when
that
you like something
that
a lot.
sends shivers down your spine
That's
in a deep
very
way.
normal to say.
It's a frightening thing to say. You sounded like Gollum.
Okay.
And I flushed them. I did. I called the doctor and I was like, he cannot take this Oxy.
So I had one day. That's one day. One day I got to take, and you keep on saying Oxy. It wasn't OxyContin. It was Percocet. It's much funner.
He kept correcting me too. He kept being like, "It's Percocet," and it said OxyContin on the
said
fucking
oxycodone, which is the scientific name for Percocet.
Okay, you kept again. You repeated that about 17 times to me while you were high, and
Yep.
I was looking at it sober, and it said OxyContin. So you're wrong.
It wasn't OxyContin. It was Percocet. But that's okay. I do want to say this, though. I want to say that pills are great. No, pills,
They're great if you're on them, but if I was like dating, I get why people who date junkies, sorry, not junkies, addicts, I get why people who date them just end up doing heroin because it's so fucking boring.
You had fun at the hotel.
No, I had no fun. I literally was
You were
calling my
filming
friends.
me and laughing.
I was calling my friends, screaming in the room, and you were sleeping with your mouth open and wiping drool every once in a while. Like it was like the most boring. It was like being with someone in a coma.
Jesus Christ. Do we have to stay married? That's what you're going to do when I'm in... What do you think's going to happen when you go to the hospital?
Wait, what? Wait,
This is
no.
boring.
Stop a second. Why do you plan on being in a coma at some point?
I don't, but
You're
had
talking right
one-
now
you-
like you have a plan to be in a coma.
I don't, but I do plan on probably having to get medical care again and not being like, ugh, this is so boring.
First of all, it's a bit, so calm down. Relax.
Okay.
I don't know why this became very serious for you, but you need to just chill.
I think it became serious for you.
It's so boring to date somebody who is on heroin. And
Okay.
that is why people who date people on heroin are like, well, if you're going to sleep all day, I guess I'll sleep all day.
I don't know how anybody... Okay, I took a lot of Valium, which makes sense, but I took one Percocet. One Percocet, which is nothing for drug addicts. It's nothing. It would barely scratch the itch. I don't know how I would never be able to casually get into it because I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I got up to pee and I was like, well, that's my day. Like, it was like literally the most I could do. I don't know how you keep a job.
And you actually couldn't. You would go and sit on the toilet and then stand up after like 5 minutes and be like, I can't pee.
Mm-hmm. You can't fuck, that's for sure.
Oh, God, no.
I
mean, you were looking at me with one eye like this.
Yeah.
It was so fucked up.
Here's what I'm worried about. I was trying to get to this earlier. Is that when I was high, there were substantial amounts of the time where first I was talking to the guy that was kind of running the show, the doctor's husband, and he was telling me about how he was 100% Cherokee.
Wait, the guy that was running the show was not the doctor?
You know this.
You mean her assistant?
The guy that was there the whole time is her husband.
Yeah.
So he's like he like manages the experience.
Okay, yeah.
So he's telling me he's 100% Cherokee. And then the two people actually doing most of the surgery are two Filipino people. And I'm just afraid that, like, you know me, when somebody says they're from somewhere, I just start being like, oh, the Manila, the capital. Do you eat lumpia? Have you met Manny Pacquiao? That's sober.
Yeah.
So I was talking to them a long time. I don't remember what I said. I wonder if I was like, did your mom yell at you about the piano? You know, like whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, like I was just like, do you like Joe Coy?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just afraid. I'm afraid.
You weren't talking to anybody, sweetheart.
Okay.
I came in and you didn't even notice me. You made straight eye contact with me, and there was no recognition that your wife had walked in the room. It was
I also watched a great soccer game and fell asleep. I was like watching.
Yeah, you might as well have been watching like a TV show of me walking into the room that you were in, because that was the face that you made.
That's how I woke up. I woke up to you walking in. Actually, I woke up to you over my head being like, oh, this. I bet I wasn't even conscious when you walked in.
Yeah, no, you were not conscious at all. I did film every single moment of it. And I made sure that I had full video so that I have something for all of the Patreon members. By the way, you guys, Hammy's in the studio. So if you hear a bone or an antler being thrown around, it is Hammy. Because it's Hammy. It's one of our studio dogs.
Yeah.
And he's trying to give us the light, but it's not working, Hammy.
Yeah, Hammy doesn't like the pod. She's a big Theo Von fan.
Yeah. So anyway, I just felt like a gust. You just coughed onto my arm in such a way that like the hair on my arm moved.
For sickness and for health.
That's not how it goes.
Yeah, it is.
No.
For sickness and for health.
For sickness and for health.
That's vows. You made them, babe.
For
Did you ask
sickness
me?
And for health.
Did you think to ask
Find
me?
Your Beach podcast.
Did you ask me any secrets? That would have been a good thing to ask. You could have truth serumed me.
You know, they were telling me to do that, and I was like, there's literally nothing that he's done that I don't know about. I have all of his passwords. I've looked through his phone. I know everything there is to know. So I was like, any other questions that I don't have answered, I really don't want the answers for, you know?
Yeah.
So I just sort of stayed away from that.
I do not look through your phone.
Yeah,
ever.
I know.
It's such a
respectful.
safe place to be.
But yeah, I decided that I would film you and commercialize your trauma. Not trauma, your most intimate medical procedures.
I mean, it was
And
honestly,
for profit,
that's
you know?
great. I want to share it with the world. I want to thank the Sackler family, and I don't know who invented Valium. It might have been the Sacklers. You
They
guys
definitely paid for it.
You did great work. You guys, I mean, honestly, I know the opioid crisis is pretty horrible.
I haven't seen your art collection, but if it's anything close to the collection of opioids that you've spread across America, impressive.
Yeah. It
Very
is.
impressive.
They actually do have an impressive art. They basically have supported every single museum that we've ever gone to.
Yeah, I know. It's great to walk through the MoMA and know that it's been funded by rural whites.
Yeah,
dying in their homes.
What's the I got try the song?
What?
The song from the video.
Which one?
The Sackler video. The OxyContin.
I like titration. That's my fucking problem. I love titration. That's my fucking problem.
Hell yeah.
I love
Go
titration.
off.
That's my fucking problem. Anyway, thanks, Sacklers. I appreciate it.
And if you haven't seen Crime of the Century, go see it. It's on HBO Max. It's a great definition of what the opioid crisis is.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
But anyways,
Much like the look in Andy's eyes when I told him I was going to flush his Percocets.
I honestly, I knew that I was going to let her. I obviously wasn't going to take more. But the drug addict in me was like screaming. If it was inside the movie.
There was a moment during your surgery where the doctor said, I'm sorry to step on your bit. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There was a moment where the doctor, you were completely knocked out, and the doctor shook your pills in the bottle to hand them to me.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, so he's on 4 of these already, and he shook what was left. He's like, we got about 3 left. He goes, I'm just gonna throw these away. And you went, whoa, 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 out of a pure black sleep, just dead to the world.
Oh man.
You awoke.
I want to be reborn into the Getty family, and I just want to be a opioid addict. It was heaven on earth. Never felt. I'm still riding the high. It's great. I've been buying them off the street.
Oh, good. That's good.
No, but it was fantastic, and now my hair's growing back, and honestly,
How you feel?
I feel great. I was talking to my therapist today, and she was like, "You sound different," and I was like, "Well, I've been at an all-inclusive resort, and then I got cosmetic surgery, and I took the week off, and I think that's it. I think that's the solution to mental health.
I think I'm fixed.
I think that's what you need to do. If you are feeling down, go to the DR for a week. Come back. Find something that's wrong with you. Fix it for money. That's all you got to do.
Fix it with money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for money. Maybe there's like a school where they teach it and you can get it done.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool how they did it. Like, because I got really in there. They were really proud of like what they were doing. You never walk into a surgery room, you know, where like if a doctor was doing open heart surgery, he's not going to like invite you in and be like, hey, bring your phone. Check this out.
Yeah.
Like they were like telling me to film what they were doing.
Also,
you're sitting there and the back of your head is just bleeding. You're just bloody. There's just a bloody pillowcase behind you. And they're planting follicles into the front of your fucking head.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy. It was literally like watching like a tiny little gardener work the fields. I was like, this is really cute.
They were so casual. There was like almost concerning. I remember there was a point where I was starting to get high from the laughing gas and the Valium was starting to kick in. And he goes, all right, let's do this. And he gave me a fist bump. And I was just like, doctors aren't supposed to fist bump. Like I was just like, no, like, but it's too late. It was like the same thing as like when you're passing out for a real surgery and you hear the doctor say the wrong leg. You're like, he's like, all right, we're going to do the left one. And you're like, it's all right. Like there was nothing I could do. He fist bumped me and I was like, I'm on a cosmetic journey.
Oh, and then I remember I came in and he was like, so he goes, he was really, he was laughing his ass off earlier. He really came up with something that was making him laugh pretty hard. And I was like, oh, really, babe? Did you come up with something funny? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, what was it? And you go, I was just like, I was thinking about how if the gas makes you die and your voice changed. And you were like, I feel funny.
Yeah.
And like the way you said it wasn't, I was like, that's got no legs. But like you thought it was the funniest thing you'd ever come up with. No, you were like dying laughing.
Because here's the thing. Here's what I thought. Like they had me take the gas at first. And when you let the gas out, when you take nitrous, it does the opposite of helium. Yeah. So your voice is like this. And I was talking and it was making me laugh. And I was thinking how funny it would be if I was dying in that moment. Like I was having an adverse reaction to the medicine. And I was trying to tell them. Like I was like, you guys, I don't feel so good. You know, like... And I'm thinking about this while it's happening. Like I'm passing out and laughing. I will tell you this. They did not, like they knew I took enough medicine that I was going to be fine. So they just started going. Yeah. And I was not numb. Yeah. And so they shoot the lidocaine into the base of your skull, like right here, like along these tendons. Yeah. And it gets numb pretty quick, but they just start working and they go to basically like where you aren't numb, and then you go, oh, I'm not numb there. Ow, this fucking hurts, because they're just digging out a hair follicle with like a little like mechanical scoop. Ew. And then I could hear it too. Like I could. And then I go,
what did it sound like?
Like it sounded like a little, like it was like, like it just like
a squeegee.
Yeah, just like kind of like, but it was like I knew that it was like plucking skin out too. Yeah. Like it was like hair and skin. And then I was like, oh, no, I'm not numb there. I'm not numb there. Like saying this from my stomach. And they go, okay, we'll numb you up. And then they just stuck a needle into the top of my head. Like, so it's just like needle against skin and skull. And I'm like, oh, fuck that, like just screaming swear words at that moment. But then like I was asleep like 5-10 minutes later. Yeah. And then I woke up and they were like, we got you lunch. I was like, all right.
Yeah, they were texting me throughout the day, just letting me know how you were doing. And I was like, this is, I gotta say, since it happened, you have been more confident.
Yeah.
You've been really out of line.
I kind of get, I
You've
kind
been
of get
stepping out of line.
why Tony Hsieh always took nitrous. I think I'm gonna stop sleeping.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start.
It's Tony Heish, by the way. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's Heish?
Yeah.
I thought it was Hsieh.
It's Tony Heish is how you pronounce it, I believe. I could be wrong,
I don't know.
but I think
Anyways, R.I.P. To a real one. And
so. Jesus Christ.
anyways, I just have felt great. I was a little scared to work this weekend because I didn't want to fuck it up, but then it was fine, and I've just been having a pretty darn good time since.
Yeah, but the confidence is a problem. You know, I mean, you've been hitting the dogs.
I've been toughing
pissing,
them up.
standing up. All of a sudden,
been
it's
toughing
concerning.
them up. Yep.
Yeah, you know.
Baby, I got an iron body.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't
He
seen,
wakes up in the morning, he punches himself in the face in the mirror.
if you haven't seen, what is it? Some Kind of Heaven?
Some kind of heaven.
If you haven't seen Some Kind of Heaven, go see it. It's on Hulu. It's about the villages in Florida, this like retirement community.
Just wild.
And
It's basically where you go to do drugs until you die.
yeah, it's like where you go to do drugs and then get STDs after the love of your life passes away 10 years before you do.
Yeah.
But there's a guy in it named Reggie, and Reggie's like a stoner, but he's like 78, and
He's like one of the bad kids.
yeah, he's like doing like he's like trying harder drugs, and he's like punching himself in the face.
Dude,
and
he
his
was
wife's,
like, he's like laying out at like a Florida style pool, just like doing peyote.
yeah, just he's doing
You're
it.
like, what the fuck?
He did a drug that was like a brown powder that he scooped into a blower, and then he like blew it up his nose, and he was like, I like to do drugs.
It
They
looked
open
like
up
how
my mind.
it looked like how they healed the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what the fuck is this shit? So
I think it was it really was like he was fucking out to lunch. Like before his wife kind of put her foot down, he was like fucking he like came in bawling in one scene, and he's like, babe, I just died.
he's like, I told you I died.
I can prove it. And then he was like, I'm gonna go jerk off.
Yeah, he says, don't come in here. I'm gonna go jerk off. Don't come in here.
I hope when we are old like that we are that goofy. I don't want to live in the villages, but I do want to be like.
I definitely want to live in the villages.
You want to?
Yes, I want to go to the villages. Yes, I do.
You
That
don't
looked
wanna,
like a fucking party.
You don't party.
Yeah, but it looked fun.
All right.
They have dance. They have dance classes.
Yeah. You also cried at the end.
Shut up, Andy.
You cried because.
Shut up.
What was her name? Eileen or something? Elaine?
It doesn't matter.
She danced and she
I don't
started
know who
having
you're
fun.
talking about.
Whatever.
I have no idea what you're talking
You're gonna
about.
be a widow.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're gonna be a widow and you're gonna have to dance.
That's fine. I have no problem. I won't even notice. I'll be like, let me just fucking fire up the Tinder account.
Yeah, you're gonna probably fuck that guy in the van. That's who you're gonna end up dating.
Yeah, I'm about that van life. Okay? I'm about that old van life.
That old man van life, dude. There was I mean, I know we're getting off
That
like,
guy,
topic,
that
but
guy dating the woman. Okay, so there was one guy who was like trying to scam. He was actually very much like Andy.
he was
but
like open about he had kind of hit his bottom, and
It
he
was weird how all of those men actually were like an amalgamation of your personality traits. Because like the guy, Reggie, with the drug addiction problem, he's just like riding golf carts into sprinkler systems. And then van guy was like trying to scam women, trying to find a woman who had money to go live with her. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I've never scammed a woman, just so you know.
You scammed me.
Okay, well that's
I've
different.
been scammed.
Okay, you got some stuff in return, like a dishwasher.
I had that.
And no, the person who washes your dishes and loads your dishwasher.
But there's literally a dishwasher in my house.
Yeah, but I put the dishes in the dishwasher.
The difference now is that instead of talking to Alexa, I just talk to you.
It's so it's so good.
I go,
And-
what's the weather outside today, Andy?
Yeah. And then I ask Alexa. What was I going to say? You ruined it. You ruined it, and it's gone.
You've ruined my life.
You've ruined my life.
I'm so sorry. What was it?
No, it was about that guy that lived in, I think his name was Jimmy. And he was like, I've been a single guy my whole life, never really settled down, and I don't know if I'm ready. We're just
he's like 82.
Yeah, he's 81 or 82. He's like, what do you think? Like, you got a little more like zest left? Like, what do you?
He's like, I just miss the freedom. Nancy's nice, but I miss the freedom. And
it's not like my van.
You're living off of her money
Yeah.
in her home. And it's like, who cares that she has Ted Cruz spit marks on the side of her mouth all the time?
Yeah. You got a bed, bro. He was like annoyed. He's like laying on his back, getting like just fanned in the dark.
Yeah.
And then, we should go to this too. He's 81 years old. He's laying on his back, just like sweating. The fan's running, and she yells, and he's like, God. And she's like, what do you want for lunch? He's so annoyed by the fact that this woman's letting him not be homeless.
Yeah.
But in one point, he also calls his mom. He's 81 years old. He calls his mom to be like, hey, Mom. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Both of us had to pause it and be like, how old is the mom?
Can you call the afterlife? Like, what the fuck is happening? He's 81. You can't casually call.
No.
Like, even if she's 97.
It actually made me horrified about how long we're going to live. Like, we're going to be here for so long.
Have I told you about this, the article that I read?
Probably, but go ahead.
I was reading an article, and there's doctors now that believe our generation will live to 150 years old.
150? Wait,
150.
That's like a couple of us. That's not.
No, but I think what they're saying is like we are going to very soon have the ability to like eradicate cancer, like turn over cells. Like with nanotechnology, they're literally going to be able to like inject you with little robots that go in and fix your skin from within. Like,
okay, so let's make a pact.
Yes.
Let's say we get to 85.
Yeah.
No cancer, nothing. We're good.
Yeah.
Relapse?
Yes.
All right.
Space drugs. Hopefully.
Okay.
We're going to do fucking
We're going to nano relapse.
Mercurian fucking
meth.
Heroin.
Yeah.
Meth.
You guys, we do have a bad advice question. So I want to make sure that we get to that before we sign off. But if you have bad advice questions for us, make sure that you text us. It's 917-540-8395. Send those in to us and we'll answer them on the pod. All right, here we go. This one is from... Wait. We already did this one.
Yeah, you want the one from...
We want the one from... Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Bad advice question. I started a new part-time serving job a month ago. I'm a grad student. And started sleeping with one of my coworkers. Yeah, I know. That was a mistake. Don't shit where you eat or whatever. Although he flirts with me at work and acts completely normal, I can't get him to have a normal conversation with me over text so we can hook up again. It usually only happens when we go out to the bar after work. How do I get this man to communicate with me over text? I'm not asking him to marry me. Side note, our hooking up is top secret and no one at work knows. Glad I didn't mention your name. Okay, so... Also, guys, if you're writing in bad advice questions and you don't want your name mentioned, please put that at the top of the thing because sometimes I read the names and sometimes I don't, and I never remember which one.
We don't want to edit them out.
Yeah.
We can, but we don't want to.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Here's what I think you should do. Threaten him.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he's not getting the point.
Yeah.
You know? You're texting him. He's not writing you back. He's kind of ghosting you.
At this point, it's probably easier to get a gun license and just head over to his house.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I was going to say, like, the next text should be like, hey, motherfucker, do you want me to tell everybody at work that you've been pounding my guts? That's like a thing you can use.
Yeah, and that's like romantic.
Yeah.
So,
get on over here and fix what you've done.
Yeah.
You know?
My pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like a really sweet way to get a guy.
I don't know if you had your shift meal, but I got something you can eat. You know?
My box.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah, make sure you like actually follow up like with the second text that says my box.
yeah, and then go asterisk to go box, like
Yeah.
a to go box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you could probably throw some fun emojis in there too. There's definitely like one of those like Chinese food containers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah. I like to think of my box
maybe-
as one of those like a little fold away. It you can
Yeah.
actually fold it out. It becomes a plate.
Yeah. I call it a doggy bag all the time.
Anyway, I think that's probably the best option.
Yeah. Enjoy this until we have kids, guys, because we're gonna have to erase most of this.
Yeah.
Um.
We love you. If you are a VI Beach member,
Yeah,
If you're
this
a VI
Sunday.
Beach,
This Sunday.
this Sunday,
This Sunday,
June
27th.
27th, exactly what I was gonna say.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Eastern.
Eastern, exactly. We will be doing the VI Bistro.
And
So,
live from Charleston,
South Carolina. And those tickets are on my Instagram
Tickets?
story. Yeah, tickets to see us in Charleston.
Oh, well,
We're gonna
not
be
for
in
the
Charleston.
you seamlessly went from VI Beach into the show.
Sorry. Okay. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
So VI Bistro, we did that. Watch the shit on YouTube. Watch us on YouTube. The video drops every
It's for
Friday.
Mahalo members, there's always a video to watch.
and for Mahalo members and up, we will have Andy's free lapse surgery video
Yeah.
for you.
The greatest days of my life.
And yeah, you have all that to look forward to. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
Just find your way.